welcome back everyone. We have played through 2 of the games already, and now we got 4 more left to go. I'm Toby, joined by Saint. Now Hayes is taking a bit of a break, and we just saw what I think to be the first game with a Phase 4 with that much water in since mid-2018.
Yeah, it's really throwing it back to the good old days of PUBG. But yeah, obviously we're on a Wrangle 2, where the land ratio doesn't actually work at the minute. So I think some of the players maybe got a bit surprised, but I personally really think it doesn't change anything too much in a Wrangle.
Especially
and it provides some fun circles.
It does add for some more interesting circles. Now here are the scoreboard from the last game. In all fairness, I mean, despite the circle being rough, more teams had kills than we normally see.
Yeah.
So technically it wasn't as bad as other games have been. So decent game coming in for most teams, of course. N47 Duo with a win and 7 kills, going to put themselves in first place. I'm curious to see if that's going to throw them up into first overall as well, as we'll take a look at the overall leaderboard.
Yeah, but that game we saw a lot of sort of mid-game gunfights, a lot more than we usually do, and I think that's why the kills are so spread out between the teams, because we saw like a 2v2 where both, like one player from each team actually managed to survive, and they got taken out by later on. And N47 were one of the few teams that didn't really have a gunfight in that mid-game. They got to the late game by sort of sneaking in, and then they came alive and they just took out everything that was left in the server.
They have first place now with a solid 82 points, that is. I can't even count anymore. 82 points, 1 point ahead of the Trollers. Now, will they be able to maintain that coming after this game? We don't know, but we are just moments away from finding out.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. I don't think I've commentated Wrangle 2 for months, if not. Actually, I don't think I ever have. So
I was going to say, have you commentated the Wrangle 2.0?
I think in Nations Royale, obviously.
Oh, Nations Royale,
but
yeah,
like
true.
in I don't want to say more competitive, because I actually really think Nations Royale is quite competitive. But in a more standard
/duo scenario.
Yeah, in a more normal system, I think this is actually my first one, so I'm kind of excited.
There you go. Welcome. Yeah. We've now taken Saint's Wrangle 2.0 virginity in terms of casting.
Yeah, we see it relatively nice playing this one. Obviously, you can't really get to Georgia Pole. You can get to Primos.
You can. It just takes a while, yeah.
It's in vehicles. Yeah, you're going to be going for a while. But it should allow everyone to just about spread out enough that maybe we'll see 1 or 2 gunfights happen, but not too many.
Is this going to be a military game with this plane? Because even though
I still don't believe
the
that
land ratio is strange, it is. I mean, it is true that it happens when land ratio is on, but
because it's
despite it being on now, I'm not actually sure if that's going to change anything, because we saw it in the Nations Royale game where the circle settings is different.
We had a very wild
that
circle.
It was wild circles, but I know for a fact that when you have esports mode, I'm pretty certain that it is indeed a thing. Now let's see where the circle goes. It goes north. Okay.
It's definitely not Millie.
One thing I'm looking at is that there's still a lot of water, and we have already lost players. That's early game fights. Venti, I believe it was, finding the first kill there.
I think he shot him out the sky. I might be wrong, but
no, I think it was the vehicle. Ghost Star. He took the car to try and leave, and then he got popped before he really got anywhere.
It was Norcus that went down, right? So Ghost Star wasn't able to pick him up, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but this circle is. I'm quite looking forward to it. I haven't seen a circle sort of on that eastern coast for a long time. Obviously, we've seen quite a few Staubers. We've seen a lot of these sort of northeastern circles go all the way up to the mountainside.
True.
Or focus on Yasnaya. And I kind of want to go towards like northeastern Mansion, just because I've not been there for ages.
Yeah, let's see. Krisuka is going to be tacked up a little bit, as you can see in here. Also, a lot of the indoor things have been moved around. Oh, that's a staircase you can't use right now, Chris.
Oh. Yeah, it's going to be, I think, quite a slow gunfight, just because they're both in the circle.
Yeah, and he has his teammate downstairs too. Actually, right now, Ruin is by himself, making things a little tricky. His teammate is over in the compound on the other side, able to jump off, does take damage. Yep, down to half HP, actually a little under.
But Suppy's coming in behind. If they can't make this push quickly and isolate the solo player, Suppy can come in and help out Ruin. So they're actually going to go for it. I think they recognize that. And they've got him low, but 1 bullet on either side will get it knocked.
4 bullets. Ain't gonna cut it. He should be going down, and indeed he does get knocked. Flush comes in as well. Now does Sully commit? Seems like he does. They're both down to low HP. How do you push on this one? Sully does get the knock on towards the first player, but there's still one more alive.
And he's so low on his HP, so he's gonna have to heal. The res should be able to come out. And then we get stuck back in another 2v1. But the problem there for Suppy is that because his teammate went down,
he needs to run right
as
now.
he got to the bottom of the house. Oh, he's coming up. They haven't actually got time for the res. It's all about who can land their shots, and it's Krisuka saving Horseman there and getting both kills in the process. A lovely play, but Suppy sort of got forced into committing because he was
also,
at the bottom of the house.
He had a med kit, so you would want to do that anyway. You don't want to give the other team a chance to get both res and healed up.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like if the killer come in like a couple of seconds earlier, Sappy would have just got back in his car and drove off. But because
probably.
Yeah, because he was at the bottom of the house, he was sort of baited into committing to the gunfight and just fed Krasuka a second kill.
He was already full-on committed to the fight. A team that's not necessarily full-on committed here is him and then Mac, and they have a chance to run off Spoof. Is inside the 3-story building and should be able to stay put for a little while longer. But Macken is actually crossing the road here. It seems like he wants a little piece of the action.
Yeah, Spoof's in a bit of a rough spot here. I don't think he has a vehicle. There is a spawn on the western side of the hill, so maybe you picked that up, I'm not sure. But actually, there's a buggy right outside the compound. But there's no way he's going to get that with Macadark and Hamanen looking for him.
Not right now, at least.
It's one of those ones where you just have to wait out. I mean, he's in the circle, so he's not in a rush, and his teammate is just to the east.
Ow.
So potentially, if he can get a knock, Bubba's the best might sneak out behind and actually be able to get the second kill.
Yeah, you can see him running around over by Shelter. That's a teammate over there, and right now, it doesn't seem like he's in a hurry to come help, but at the same time, I don't think Spoof really feels like he's being pushed out. What I am a little scared to see, though, is Spoof peeking so massively. He should know that him has a bolt.
Yeah, but the good thing is he can use the walls to his advantage to just peek one player. Yeah. Because they're so spread, he can just shoot Macadark or he can just shoot Hamanen. And obviously, yeah, that bolt action is very scary. But if he can get one of these knocks, Bob should be able to come in and get the second.
He's nowhere near, though. Has still yet to leave the shelter area. See Spoof. I think after he hurt that bolt action, he's not going to be too greedy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bob's actually sitting above shelter, like on one of the shelters. Yeah, you see him shooting now. He's hitting up Hamanen, and this is going to force Hamanen into an angle that Spoof should be able to peek. If he can get a couple bullets in, the man is going to go down.
He's going to need to get that knock in now, though, if he wants to. Spoof, you can see Game Frame. They're sitting in the top of the leaderboard as well. I believe sitting in 3rd place overall, something along the lines. Game Frame trying to see if they can get some kills here, but it seems to me like Macken and him are both disengaging.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where they needed to get the knock onto Spoof really quickly if they were actually going to get the kill, and they didn't. So it looks like all 4 of them are going to be safe now as they sort of back off, and maybe we'll see them engage later as they are on the southwestern side. And I don't think Kamanen and Macadark have a vehicle.
No, they're gonna run. I think that's. Yeah. I think that initially was what their idea of running to that compound was. To take the vehicle that they saw, but now, fortunately, shots were fired towards them. And look over towards the center of the circle on the eastern side of Yasnaya. There are a lot of teams there.
Yeah, but the problem with these circles is it very rarely ends there. Like we normally see that it hard shifts that way, and we get like on a further south circle, it goes north and ends there. But when it's actually center, we normally get a starboard ending. So I wonder if the circle's gonna belie its usual form.
Can no longer predict with no land ratio.
That is true. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the circle algorithm is slightly different on a angle 2 versus an angle 1. So whether the usual angle circles are angle 1 only, I'm not sure.
Only time will tell where this game is going to end. And of course, we're not the only ones trying to figure it out. The players are trying to put the math together and see if they can do something to figure it out.
Yeah, but for now, I think we should see a bit of a stalemate, bar maybe some people driving into each other on rotation, like we see on the southwest. I think Tech is actually driving straight into game frame. It's actually, they've all committed to this compound now, so we're going to see a bit of a gunfight. Spoof thought he was safe, but a different duo is going to come pull up. But Bob is there this time, so it's a straight up 2v2.
And Persix and his team is pushing over the South Hill as well. Spoof does find a B, so Techers should be the next one to be found. Nate thrown forward to try and get the flush. That's an interesting parking with the US. Flush does come in. Techers now all by himself on the wall.
Yeah, I've seen worse parking, to be fair, from I think my sister's parked worse than that in the past. But yeah, that was really unfortunate for the duo of Arb and Techers. It just pulled up in this compound, I think, as a sort of staging post for their rotation. Oh, did Spoof? Yeah, Spoof saw Techers. Yeah, he's going to get the spray down, going to get the kill, the second of the game. And this compound is seeing a lot more action than usual. But yeah, I think they just pulled up as a sort of, we'll stop here, we'll get our bearings, and then we'll move further on. And unfortunately, because of that gunfight that we saw versus Amanda and Macadark, game frame was still here. But it looks like their gunfight woes are not going to be over anytime soon, because they've got another duo coming from the south.
Bustas and Pusex, they're pushing in from the southern side. I would assume that Spoof and Bob managed to get away from here, but
well, they have the buggy on the north side.
Yeah, but it seems like they're full-on committed to this. They're just sprinting down towards the building.
Yeah, again, it's another duo with no vehicle, which is A, surprising this early on in the game, and B, I presume they're just going to commit to this because they know there's a team there, and they would assume the team has a vehicle to escape with. So if they can commit to that, get both kills, then that's their way to get towards the middle of the map.
No, I don't think they were seen. So why they're proned up like this is a little surprising to me.
I wonder if maybe they're gonna they want to wait for one of them to run outside the wall because Buster is peeking and Pusex is just hiding. So my expectation is they're hoping one of them sort of runs in the open, and then both of them peek and do some damage. But it looked like Pusex didn't have a scope, so yeah, we see here.
Take a vehicle or anything so that they can get some free shots on towards them.
And the vehicle is the buggy's on the south, yeah. So as soon as they get in this buggy, it should be free kills.
They've rotated the vehicle around the side. That's what gives them the angle. Okay.
Unfortunately, that looks like it's it might be their death.
Circle's going on the east side. In the meantime, we have a fight going on down south. Seems like Imsinic finds Shloopy. Sharon does get the flushing towards one in return, but that's another twice. That's not even the same fight going on there. Shloopy and Mara both gone down. Buster shoots towards Spoof, not able to get the knock on towards him just yet. One more bullet should do it, but he's safe for now.
Yeah, but the big problem now is the circle's shifted away, so both of these teams need to get out of this place.
Yep.
And they really can't because the team on the hill obviously has no car, and Spoof and Bob's car now is completely in the open, so I don't think they'll want to go for it, bar maybe with some smokes. But the circle is going to go towards Mansion, so I wonder if we're going to get a Mansion Forest ending.
I mean, we've seen a lot of endings go towards where Conqueror is right now.
Yeah.
Yorgany, them sitting there up where Marco. I mean, that 3 stack of compounds with Apollo, Yorgany, and Marco. We've seen a lot of circles go there before, and I would assume that it could possibly go up there once again. Now, Lucarux. AWM found for him, but his helmet has bloodstains on it. Oh my lord, that nade was right on the money. Trico able to find Lucarux from afar.
He's deployed his escape method here. He's going to crawl all the way down the hill, and Ivor should be able to get over and res him.
Yeah.
But it's whether Chico and Beamy want to push on this. But yeah, the problem is they have that.
I think
the players to the north. They know Ghost Star's there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Beamy's hard scoping him, so there's not much they can do whilst that person is there. And I think they also know that the Joe is to the south. So
yeah,
I can't see them committing to this, and so the rest should be able to come in.
Yeah, Sharon and
but I don't see how BTL is going to be able to escape that.
No, I don't think they're in a hurry to get anywhere right now. You can see N47 coming from the north. Other teams are coming in from up there too, so potentially they'll hope that other teams will kind of distract for long enough that they can get out from where they are. Vac. Oh, that nade is going to be good. Unfortunately, it does blow up the door, though.
Yeah, there's a Molotov coming in as well, so it's going to force Vac into either the corner or fully out the house. It looks like he's just found a little safe spot, but Ribbons should know roughly where he is in the house now, and can sort of pre-fire with it. Oh, he's actually going to hide in the toilet? No. He needs to commit to this and find one of them. This is only real way he wins the gunfight, because if he just sits in the inside and lets them push, then he might get one, but the second guy should be able to kill him.
Let's see, he's jumping for info, trying to find out where they're prone. He does spot him now, but nice hold, nice angle from Ribbons to hold through the the corner window there. Able to spot both entrances, gets the insta-kill on towards Vac, and that's going to be Nevermind eliminated. Down to low HP, and actually now, MJO able to find the knock on towards him. That's from afar.
Yeah,
really
luckily for Ribbons, there's no one there to flush it out, so he should be okay, but still some really nice shots.
Yeah. Vasco has found himself on the shoreline. They have vehicles available, at least they should have.
Yeah, but T-Bone's actually trying to make a move on it, but he's going to go straight into Ghost Star if he's not careful.
I think Ghost Star is still being contained. Oh my lord, that's some good shooting, T-Bone.
They know exactly where Lucarix is in that smoke as well, but I think the problem for T-Bone, we saw Beamy and Trico didn't commit to the gunfight because of how many other people they knew were around. And the M47 duos come in late, so they have absolutely no idea, but they're going to know now.
Yep.
That Zeron and BenQ5 are winners of Game 1 up on the hill. And should be their timing to escape. Yeah, I think they're going to be okay. T-Bone should be able to get his vehicle out, so that should be their escape route. But
they want the AWM.
It was a little bit scary for a couple of moments there, as I thought T-Bone was going to go all the way to the shack and then just feed a kill to Ghost Star, but he stopped early.
Yeah, true. Circle does shift away from the water. Towards land we go. And, well, I mean, it's very, very open in this area. This is probably one of the areas of the map that the least has been changed to from Erangel 1 to Erangel 2.0.
Yeah, big problem with Erangel 1 was the lack of sort of cover in fields, the lack of trees, rocks, and dips. And this area is well known because it's got a massive forest. So
yeah, on the south side.
So they sort of took the Mansion Forest area and started applying it to other areas of the map. So it was sort of the progenitor of Erangel 2. But it should mean that a lot of these people on the south can get in there, and we should see like a messy 5-6-way gunfight in that forest sometime soon.
I think right now the forest is the equivalent to a city in terms of we really don't want to go there, but we kind of also don't have any alternatives. And that's normally what forces teams into cities. Now, we do have some of ES9 inside the circle, so technically there's a city available, but I would assume Forest being prioritized over Yasnaya just simply because of the center position.
Yeah, 47 have found a friend on the northeast. It's looking a little bit rough. I think T-Bone goes down. They actually got 1v2'd. Ouch.
As current second place team taking out the current first place team. That's going to be a feels good.
Yeah, that's pretty much perfect in terms of your start to the game. But one thing I want to say with this is something I used to employ, particularly when I played squads competitively, is no one went towards the forest, as we see Trico should be able to get this kill, but he actually lost Beamy. Uzdeath. He 1v2'd M47, decided it wasn't enough and killed Beamy as well.
Bad bounce on the nade. Trico down zone to half HP, make that 1/4. Sitting at 6 HP just now. Billum spots him from afar, but not able
just
to
want
get
all these
the
kills.
towards him.
Ghostar knows exactly where he is, but he just can't push that because... Ooh, I like this.
It's a dangerous throw. Could be molotoving yourself in there, Jack.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where you miss it by like an inch and you're dead.
And then you're most likely just crisped. You can see Trico's being contained behind the rock. He's not really able to get an angle on towards Ghostar, even though he probably would want to push forward. But
if he can get it in the window, there'll be there's no way Ghostar escapes it.
Oh no.
Oh, is it in? Oh! I thought he'd done it. I think that was his last one as well. Oh, no, never mind.
One ain't available. Ghostar will hear it once it hits the wall, but will it be too late at
the
time?
He saw it there.
Forward, it goes in. He should find him. Great throw, Trico.
But Ghostar jumped up, saw he had the nade in his hand, which is why he peeked.
Probably didn't expect that he would make it.
And then ran back in. But what I want to go back to is what I was trying to talk about before we saw that was that back when I played, if I had this circle, I always went into the forest because I knew everyone avoided it like the plague, so I knew it'd be free. And I'm surprised no one's done the same. Particularly there's dips sort of on the northwest edge of the Mansion Forest. Those dips are always free, but they're such an insanely strong position that no one ever goes for. And if you get there early, all those people that we talk about that have no other option just sort of drive straight into it and just feed you kills.
I think in duos it's a little different than squads because the forest is. I mean, you need more than 2 players to make sure that no one's sneaking up on you.
Yeah,
when people are coming toward, it essentially becomes a Sanok, right? So when people are coming towards you have to commit both because it's a 2v2.
Yeah, then you get
you're going to get third party 9 out of 10 times. So I just think for the most part, if you have anything else available,
then
you're going to avoid going there. And for the most part right now, teams have something else available. But with the next circle shift, might not be so any longer.
I'm really surprised though that people haven't at least tried. Yeah, because we see people coming in now. Yeah, but it's all about, like, generally the first duo win is the one that will get like 5-6 kills out of it.
Yeah.
Less so in duos than in squads, but I still think it's a strong strategy if you are the first one in. But the problem is you have absolutely no idea if you're first or not.
Exactly, especially this late in the game, you have to kind of take for granted that there are other people in the forest, which there are. Hesper is sitting that center, and Emsenig is in there as well. It's like the solo getaway spot. And
I remember back to
pushing in towards.
I want to say PL Phase 2, where one of the Na'Vi players he got like a 1v4 just because he was prone to the forest, and they all just lined up for him. And that's the sort of the worry for a lot of these teams is they run on top of a snake that just kills them all, and there's nothing they can do about it. And Hesper might do that to Quickmath very soon.
It is a Vietnamese jungle warfare area with tripwires and booby traps all over the place.
We need some punji stakes. And
Ewok forest with like big lumper just coming flying down from the side. As Megas trying to find one, but actually it's going to be Maro to find what teammates. So even though they were going for a team just up close, it's them going down, but nice help from afar. Secures as Megas is live for now. Not inside placements just yet, but 1 kill at least for the Ravens.
Yeah, Major Bane saved his life from the heaven. Completely on other teams, but obviously you'd always be wanting to go for those kill points if you Major Bane. So although they could have killed 2 birds with 1 stone, if he delayed it by like a second, still grabbing the point. And guess who's actually moved in whilst that was happening? So should be able to take out his Megas as he drives in.
Yeah, maybe. At least he's driving right next door. He is going to spot him. Not going to connect the shots. I thought he was going to hold that spray for a little while longer, but as Megas is going to go from one team straight into another. Now the vehicle is going to blow up real soon, and this is all the cover you're going to get.
Yeah, Quickmath has taken the position that I was talking about, and this is where we see those people that now have absolutely no hope in hell.
Where is Hesper prone?
So, he's in the
he's prone in the, like, by the doorway.
But this is because Quickmath were the first duo win to take control of this of these dips. Now all these people that are sort of Hail Marying in are just feeding them points.
Even has the war paint on to be even more camouflaged. Stays safe for now. He's inside the circle. Will he be once that next circle pops? So that's a big question, because anything north of the road crossing from Yasnaya out east is insanely open.
Yeah, there's the tiniest of dips in the middle of the map.
And you can't use them at all because all the compounds are still in.
Yeah. I think it's actually safe from all of them except the south. So if you bring a vehicle and a couple smokes, it's just
like, nope. It closes the door. No splinters thrown in his face, fortunately. Doesn't take damage from the debris.
If they added that to the game one day, I'd be so annoyed. Like, it's just like if a door splinters, it just turns into like a bunch of...
It just becomes like a...
turns into a nade of itself.
Exactly.
It just gets stabbed by bits of wood. That'd be brutal. But it's good for now.
It's just chilling.
I think the duo just outside are going to try and get inside sometime soon, though. And they know exactly where he is.
Circle's just gone away from them as well. And I said Conqueror's compound was good. That's right on the money, Spoof. Down he goes. Give it able to find the kill. They get themselves a building. Unfortunately, as you can see, it's not inside the circle. And I said that Yorkiny's compound was decent before. Well, now it sits smack bang in the middle. And they should be able to get themselves a good game, at least in terms of placement points over this one.
Yeah, their position's really nice, but I kind of still prefer FBI's position. Just because, like, on the new Erangel, there's more trees on the south. And so they can actually get control of a lot of the north side of the circle. Whereas if you leave the central compound, like, if at any point the circle shifts away from you, you're dead. Whereas if you come from the north, you can move around a little bit more. So I really like that position. And there's also the high ground. So even if they don't necessarily get as good a placement as Conquer, they should be able to get more kills out of it.
See Sharon and Ben Q trying to make sure that the guys over on the other side of the street can't manage to cross. They heard all the fire, they heard the nates being thrown before, all the commotions registered, and they now want to make sure they can secure themselves some points with the circle closing.
Yeah, I mean, they've pretty much got the perfect shift here in the fact that there's all these players on the east that don't really have an option bar crashing them. So as long as they can win those gunfights, as long as Zeron can even just get one out of the car, they should be able to get a bunch of points for free.
Oh, no, he's
sneaky beaky.
Forward, spots Billum as well. Oh no, he's been seen by Ribbons from the other side.
Yeah, luckily it's not actually the duo he was chasing.
Yeah.
So once that gunfight happens, he can take out the TL duo if he does stay around. But it looks like he's going to try to fit somewhere else. Yeah.
He just wants to get in. No tag team. How far can you get with opponent shooting at you, Ben? 1 or 2 more bullets should do it, but they're not going to die just now. Nate thrown forward though. Actually, it's gone down. Rippen's down as well. Billum does find the kill stone, so able to stay alive. Circle's closing in as we speak. Noki now trying to push forward, and everyone's under fire here.
Yeah, Notag got so close to making it to the dip in the middle, and then like one last bullet came out from the eastern compound and just took them out right at the end of it. So it's so unfortunate for them.
Unfortunate.
Bit of a stalemate. We see so many solos on the south now. This is where there's sort of a catch-22 in terms of Quick Math as a duo. They have an opportunity to get a lot of kills, but if they start moving around and start moving towards one solo, they get collapsed on by everyone else.
5 of 6 solos are on the southern side right now, and I mean they are half the teams left alive. So should the Celtic Circle go north, the teams that are currently sitting on the northern side, they should be in a very, very decent position, and both that and also pretty much be guaranteed quite a few placement points.
Yeah, I think at this point, all those people north of the road should be getting comfortable placement points. I mean, unless the circle hard shifts south, which it doesn't do. I just don't see a way any of those players in the forest are going to survive now. But maybe Macindark and Hamanin, because there is a bit of cover on the southeastern side that they can sort of fight Zeron for.
I mean, to be fair, there's only one team coming out of the south, if even.
Yeah, Hamanin and Macindark should be able to play around the shack for now. And I think there is a dip just on the south edge. So someone should be able to survive there for at least one more circle. But I don't think you actually get anything more out of it. But I mean, maybe you outlast the duo on the north that we see trying to push FBI. But apart from that, yeah, all those people on the south are in a very rough position.
Yeah, something does find Hess, but he's been chilling for quite a while. Maybe even didn't look, like maybe even managed to look around the side. Now we are in placement points, so Hesper, despite his proning for the longest of time, doesn't grant him anything in terms of placement points.
That's one of those ones where you just hope you don't get seen.
Yeah.
You take your hands off the keyboard and you just hope.
Like, let them run past me, let them run past me.
Unfortunately, Pelty's looked and got some free loot, so you're loving that.
And so, guess who's going to go down? Rewop Atlim going to get themselves eliminated here. Meisters is going to be the one to find him, but he has to make a tough run himself.
And Pelty's just going to run straight on top of Barlos here. I don't think he has any idea. Oh, he actually does. Yeah, I presume he must have had some shots because he gets the kill for free. Barlos wasn't even able to return any fire. So Quick Math is finally starting to clear out this forest. Finally starting to take control, which maybe it's too late given the shift, but at least it's securing him a bunch of points.
MJO does find the knock on towards Billum. Through the smoke, able to find him in return. Great play, and now it's up to Marco to make sure that the team from the northern side don't make it all the way to the compound.
Yes, I don't think he had any idea that was exactly where EMEA was. And he just sprayed the doorway because you see the top of the doorway and you just spray the rest of it and you're going to get some hits. So Billum grabs the kill. Excuse me.
He got the knock in return and the circle's pushing, so I don't think he can get the rest here. Nope, not going to happen. He's not going to
he has time. He has time.
It's going to be... No, okay, maybe
the problem is that I think his Peltage doesn't have time to heal.
Yeah, you have to start running.
So he has to run to the dip and I hope he survives. But both Joe, we see Macindark and Nomana moved on to that cover that I was speaking about.
Yeah.
And which means that Peltage and Borland should be able to sort of survive on the south for a little bit.
Trollers has pushed into the building. It's 6 kills for Ørsted so far. He was really, really putting a lot of damage up in the eastern, like northeastern side earlier. And well, I mean, they're both alive here and currently sitting, I would assume, in first place.
On this southern compound, something I really love what Krasuka's just done. He got the knock onto Sunker, and immediately they both just went for it in the car and just crashed it.
They have to, and that's the only place you can play for.
Yeah, completely split off Yogani from the res, so they're going to get the kill, and they've got into the circle now, and the shift comes in, and they're still in, so looking good. I did say earlier about how I quite like coming from the north in this circle, but you have to think that they're still in a pretty strong spot.
That nade should be able to take down Meisters, and indeed it does. Krasuka able to find the kill. Horseman and Chris, as you said, managed to push their way forward inside the circle. Don't want to commit to the flush just yet. Maybe they can force him over to say, well, no, you can rest him. He's free. You can come over. You can come over.
If he sneaks up the staircase, he might be able to res him.
The kill does come in. Oh, actually, they do get the res and get the hold of as well. Billum and Ørsted, those go down. We're down now to 12 players alive.
Yeah, they eventually flushed it, but that's one of those ones where they're trying to remind him that he's about to die. He's got absolutely nothing that he can do about it. He dies slowly over there.
It was important kills for them on the northern side too, because the circle's closing in pretty much now, and you don't want to have to stall it. I mean, you don't want to have to run side by side with Nuki shooting you as well. So
you can see how
they got the kills in now.
You can see how scared they are of someone being in this house, and for good reason, because Noki's there.
Obviously.
But I'm kind of surprised Noki's not engaging on it and sitting on the north side, because he should have been able to get a knock. Well, that was nice. But he should have been able to get an initial knock and just turn it into a 1v1. But instead, he's allowing them to push towards the house, and that might hand the kills. Ooh, Marco.
Holding a passive angle. Noki is looking around the corner. Does the damage, which means his position is now revealed. Now he is inside the circle. The next circle technically gets the first knock, but not able to find the second play. MJO able to save the day. I guess he got saved by Marco a little earlier, so now they're 1-for-1 in that game.
Yeah, when Marco shot that door out, I thought Noki might have it. That was such a nice initial knock, but just not able to get the second player down. And the res comes in, so Noki at least gets the placement points, which we saw him do a bit of a Hail Mary rotation there, and it worked out in the end. So it's better than nothing, but I think he would have liked those extra points from the kills.
Now Borland has to cross the road. He is the last player on the south side, and I would strongly assume that he will have to cross that road indeed, unless if he gets the hardest of hard shifts.
Yeah, if not this circle, maybe because of a tree. Definitely next circle.
Making most of the situation, though. He gets himself a knock onto one. And actually, Marco finds Mackin, and that should allow him to push further forward, because I don't think any of the guys in the main compound on the left side have time to look at him, given that they know there's opponents right next door.
It looks like Krasuka's turned around, though, so yeah, they're lighting him up now. He had run out of utility as well, unfortunately. If he had like 2 smokes, he makes that.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah.
But because they were in that dip and just had so little cover, they were having to constantly use their smokes to prolong their life. And it did actually get them, I think, 4 extra placement points and an extra kill point. So really nicely played in the end. But
MTO stays on the northern side while Marco is pushing further down towards the circle. Sion out on the eastern side as well, able to stay put. They were the winners of the first game with 10 kills, and now they find themselves, or at least one of the players from Team Diamond finds himself in a top 6 player situation. Top 4 teams overall once again. Very, very good start to the day for Team Diamond.
I think that's the most disgusting gun and scope combination I've ever seen on a horse.
Barrel 2x?
Yeah, the 2x barrel. It makes me physically ill.
How so? It's OP, you know?
I hate the 2x and I hate the barrel, so...
Well, that's why you're not a professional gamer.
Oof. You hit me hard there. What did I do to deserve that one? I would assault that.
You said something wrong. Everyone's playing 2x and everyone's playing barrel, so...
I like the 2x, just not on a barrel.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I'll take it on an M4 any day.
MJ does go down. It's up to Marco now to see what points he can grasp for his team. It is the final circle, so next one should be somewhat predictable. I mean, these whenever you go from circle 6 to circle 9, essentially, the strings are so small that if you're anywhere close to center, you're pretty much guaranteed to be in. Now, Jaren does go down. Krisuka knows that these guys will have to leave the compound and cross into the open. You can see Horseman pushing forward while Krisuka is doing damage from far. This is a very smart play, and unfortunately, the Wolf has blown down the house, and that's going to be enough to get the win as well. 9 kills for a team name I'm not even going to try and pronounce because, well, they got themselves the win. A Harry back. That's what I'm assuming that it means.
I was considering trying it, and
I didn't even.
Nah.
No, just no. But Krisuka and
9
Horseman.
kills is a big win.
Finnish words, Finnish champions, Finnish winners of this game. Going to secure themselves a 19-point game here in game number 3. Very, very, very decent performance from them. They had to push some, well, they pushed into the compound, as you said, right when they had to. Got the first knock, knew if we want to win this game, we need some cover.
Yeah, I think they were actually taking blue damage as well when they got the knock. They were so far out on the western side, but that one knock came in, and that was just enough to get them the entry into the compound.
Sometimes
and
you
they used it perfectly.
You gotta do, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a lot of teams second guess. I think that's the most important thing, because they other teams might make that push as well, but they won't do it immediately. They was like, should we, and then they say yes. But then by the time they actually make it there, they've already had the time to heal. They've already had the time to get rest and everything. These guys, they knew, if we get a knock, we have to send it immediately. We need to utilize that 2v1 advantage, and it worked out perfectly.
It's one of those ones where you're in a really rough spot, and you say to your teammate, if I get this knock, get in the car.
Get in the bloody car. Maybe he was already sitting there waiting for him to get the knock. Come on, man, where's the knock? Where's the knock? We want to go.
Those wheels spinning.
They do get the kill, they do get the win, and they do secure themselves, I believe, their first chicken dinner of the Open League Wingman Series here. Why not do it on the final day of the group stages? I mean, if that's what's going to kick them up to a safe spot in the top 16, then, well, it's not too late.
Yeah, I mean, doing it in the last game is the same as doing it in the first game.
True. So,
you know, even if they did have a rough start, which I'm pretty sure they didn't do too well in the first 2 days, but if they're coming into a wrangle, which they should be more comfortable on, given that I know Horseman at least plays competitive, but coming into a wrangle, 2 good games should propel you into that top 16 if you have just a few points in the other 2 maps.
For sure. Now, we do have 3 more games left to go. We're halfway through the day for EU, guys. We'll take a short break, so stick around. We'll be right back.